Okay, everybody, let's get right into the unboxing. I got this plant from a seller on Etsy called ArsBontanicPlants. I will put their name down here somewhere on the screen and in the description box below. I'll link their account if you'd like to check them out. This is not the first plant I've gotten from them, so I'm expecting the same kind of quality that I got the first time, and I'm pretty sure they'll deliver on it. I went ahead and took out the invoice, and there is a bunch of polyfill. So let's pull this out, and the plant is easily exposed and ready to be pulled out. And there we go. That was the easiest unboxing ever. I got a Hoya Fungii. It is beautiful. Oh, it has brand new growth. That leaf there in the back is new. It hasn't even hardened off yet. And it looks great. I didn't expect that this plant would be coming without a pot. They didn't mention that in their description, which is totally fine, or I missed it. That's also possible too, but that's totally fine. This gives me a chance to look at the roots, see what's going on. It was described in the title of the listing as well rooted, so let's see if that fits the bill here. It is wrapped up in plastic wrap with some tape, and inside that plastic wrap is a wet towel, a paper towel wrapped around the roots, and some soil, it looks like. So I'm going to be putting this plant in soil for the time being. Going to go ahead and give it its same environment that it's used to. Normally, I prefer terracotta for my Hoyas, but I'm actually out of an appropriate size for this Hoya. I don't want to put it in too big of a pot because that can cause root rot if the roots aren't substantial enough to empty the pot of its water fast enough. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in a plastic orchid pot, which has all the little holes and everything. Let me just empty my tray off here so that I can pot this up, and boom, there we go. A couple of little cuts later, and we're ready to pot. So the roots look great. Like I said, they are in soil. The damp towel didn't seem to affect them too much. If I'm remembering correctly, this plant was only in the mail for like 2 days. USPS coming through for a change. I've been having some issues with my plants being late lately, but they're overworked, they're stressed, they're understaffed. We have to be patient and just hope for the best sometimes. And this actually was a really big win for me. It came great. It looks beautiful. I am using the Della Tanks potting soil. You can get it on Amazon. I will link it in the description box down below too, as well as the pots that I'm using. If there's anything that you see that I'm using that you want to link to, please don't hesitate to ask me, and I will try and provide that for you if I can. I did get my soil scoop also on Amazon. I'll link that down below too. My tray here is just an old cookie sheet. I'm not fancy. I use what I have around the house. I do have a repotting mat, but I tend to only pull that out when I have like a really big job to use it for. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue to pot this up, make sure it's sitting the way I like it. I do like these orchid pots for my Hoyas if I don't have terracotta available. The holes in the side do allow for a lot of aeration and help the soil dry out a bit faster, so that's not sitting with wet feet for too long. This Della Tanks mix is great though. It doesn't really stay wet for too long. It's cocoa husk, pumice, some slow release fertilizer, soil. It's really great. I'd love it for my Hoyas. I have several Hoyas in it. I did run out of my standard potting mix, so I'm pretty much putting everything in Della Tanks right now until I run out of that. And once I run out of that bag, I'll try to decide if I want to purchase more or not. But look at these leaves. Look at the speckling, the veining. Oh, they're gorgeous. I'm going to clean them off with some neem oil spray just because they have hard water and to treat for any possible pests. We have a new tendril. Looks like it's getting ready to put out some leaves here. The leaf right next to the tendril right here is brand new. Like I said, it hasn't even hardened off. And I don't know if you can see down there in the middle, right between the two top leaves, there is a growth point as well. This new leaf looks like it's going to be gorgeous. I will be putting this in my Millsbo greenhouse so that it can get the warmth, the humidity, and love that it needs. I'm just going to go ahead and give it some water here. And I will just basically pour some water over the top, let the little saucer fill up part way, and then put it in my Millsbo, because over time, that water will saturate the rest of the dirt, and then I won't have to worry about it. If after a few hours there's still water left in the saucer, I'll just empty it out. But that's basically it for my Hoya Fungii. Now let's get into the next Hoya that we're going to be unboxing. I got this Hoya from the Urban Leaf Shop. Again, this is not my first time ordering from the Urban Leaf Shop. I did find her on Instagram, and she's great as well. I ordered 2 plants from her. I actually made a video about one of them, my Hoya CV Ruthie, that I nearly killed. Again, no fault of the seller. I'm the one that almost killed that plant, but it came great. And the other plant I got from her, which is my Hoya Erythrostema or Stema, not sure how that's pronounced either, but I can link a picture of it. I got that from her, and it's thriving and it's starting to grow. There's my invoice. I'm going to pull that out so my information isn't shown, but there is the Hoya all wrapped up, and I love it when they put this bubble insulation on their plants. She always wraps her plants in this, and they travel so well, and they're so well insulated. I've never had a bad experience when sellers use this stuff. I will pay extra to get this stuff in my shipments. But here it is. It's a little dented, but I can already tell that it's by the pot, so I'm sure it's probably fine. We're going to go ahead and take this off. The Urban Leaf Shop definitely takes pride in their packaging of their plants. So I already know that this is going to be a little bit of a process. There's going to be a lot of tape. It's going to take me some time to cut through all of everything. Typically, the way they do it is this insulation, and then inside of that is a very well taped cardboard cylinder that has the plant inside of it. So we're going to do our best to get through this quickly. This seller does tend to put her Hoyas in a mixture of soil and sphagnum moss. And I personally don't like my Hoyas in sphagnum. But I will be leaving this, unless there's some reason for me not to. We'll find out when I open it. But I will be leaving this in the sphagnum for now until it acclimates a little bit. Then I will likely take it out of the sphagnum and soil mixture that she has it in and put it just either in pond or regular soil. I'll have to decide when I see the roots what I'm going to do. I just find that it keeps the roots a little too wet for me, and it doesn't dry out as fast as I would like it from my personal way that I care for my Hoyas. I tend to be heavy-handed sometimes with watering. I have to be mindful of when I'm watering, how I'm watering. I use my water meter daily to make sure I'm not giving them a little too much love and killing them with my kindness. So I recognize that as a fault in my plant care, and I adjust accordingly. And that's why I don't typically use sphagnum moss for my Hoyas, because I will definitely give them root rot that way. It's definitely a good thing to be mindful of any type of care that you give your plants that may not suit them, so that you can make adjustments accordingly. And that's basically what I do when I choose my substrates. Now, I can tell already this plant's going to be great because I don't see any real soil spillage. A few little particles here and there, but it's doing great. If you'd like to hear a video about how I choose and why I choose my different substrates and what my different substrate preferences are and why and all that good stuff, leave me a comment leave me a comment and let me know. I will definitely make a video about pond, leca, and soil. Those are the 3 substrates that I typically use. I only use sphagnum moss when I am rooting certain things. Although it's a great rooting substrate. I love sphagnum moss for that, but I don't typically use it for a lot of things. But if you want to hear about leca, pond, and soil, I will absolutely make videos about that. And we can discuss it and see. Maybe you'll learn a new substrate to try that you might like to give a shot. You never know. But leave me a comment if you're interested anyway. Okay, we finally got the plant free of its cardboard cylinder, and it is wrapped up in tissue paper and more tape. I'm telling you, this shop packages their plants beautifully. Like, I know it's a little bit of a pain to get into them, but I would rather it be a pain to get into them than have my Hoya damaged in any way, or any plant for that matter. I would rather know that it's safe and it's going to take a beating in the postal service and it's going to come through with flying colors, rather than have them just put it in a box with a heat pack and call it a day. You know, I would always rather that extra care be taken. And this is the kind of care you get when you deal with a small business. You get personalized, excellent care, and that's what I get every time I come to the Urban Leaf Shop to buy Hoyas. This is my 3rd Hoya from them. Okay, beautiful. It's beautiful, guys. This is Hoya Siariae, and I will put the name on the screen as well so you can see that. But, oh, it's beautiful. I'm going to be very careful here not to cut anything of relevance to the plant. I just want to get this tape started so that I can take a look. I can already see the sphagnum moss peeking out through the packaging here, so I already know it's in sphagnum. But like I said, it's not the end of the world. Sphagnum is not a bad substrate if you can handle it, if the plant needs it. I did look up the care for this plant, and it seems typical Hoya care. So I will water this because I can already see that the moss is crispy. So I need some water, but I'll probably water this, let it soak up some good water, put it in my Mills bow, let it acclimate, and then I will likely, in a few weeks, move it to a substrate that I am better with. I definitely don't fault the seller for putting it in this substrate. I'm not trying to come across like I am. I hope I'm not. It's just not my preferred substrate. I don't tend to do well with it. But look how beautiful. This Hoya is stunning. I don't have a Hoya that has leaves like this at all. I have nothing that looks like this. I know a lot of people say, oh, all Hoyas look the same. I just can't get into them. Well, if you think all Hoyas look the same, then you haven't seen many Hoyas. This is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's dark. Foliage is just stunning. It's got the very light ridges for its veining. It's beautiful. I don't have anything that looks like this Hoya. It's completely unique to my collection. And look at the little tendril growing there. And there's a little growth point down there in the middle. I'll see if I can get a close-up of that here in a second. But I'm just taking a look at the sphagnum to see what's underneath it. And there is dirt and pumice mixed in with sphagnum at the bottom. So like I said, the sphagnum's completely dry, which is nice. You don't want to ship a plant in soaking wet spag. It'll rot the roots. So this was shipped beautifully. I highly, highly recommend the Urban Leaf Shop and Ars Botanica, the previous seller. Beautiful plants. Everything looks great. Let's see if I can get a better close-up holding the camera so that you can see what's going on here. You can see the tendril. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful. And it looks like it's healthy. I don't have any concerns that I'm going to lose this tendril, especially once I put it in my Mills bow, get it all that humidity. The underside of the leaves is lighter green than the top, which is just makes it even more beautiful. And you can see in there, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can. You can see the little growth point right there. I don't know. It's kind of fuzzy. I'm doing my best, but iPhone is failing me currently. So, yeah, this is just the most gorgeous plant. Look how beautiful it is. And like I said, I have nothing like this in my collection, so it's definitely a welcome addition. Thank you so much for joining me for my unboxing. I really appreciate all of you being here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day.